I'm going to explain how to do the outline exercise for your grit essay. And this outline starts in chapter 3 of our Oz textbook. And if you just flip over to page 21, you'll see where it says outline. Now you can kind of skip the first couple of pages where it talks about your simple thesis and plan of development and even the complete thesis a little bit, because you've already been given your thesis statements from the syllabus. So you'll recognize page 13 that I covered in the other video. And your thesis statements are: failure doesn't stop people with grit because of blank, blank, blank. And the growth mindset is a necessary characteristic for gritty people to have because of blank, blank, blank. All right, so now what you're doing with this outline is you're going in your textbook. All right. And you have 5 paragraphs. So it says paragraph section 1, paragraph section 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now these paragraph sections equate to what I showed you in the previous video, with paragraph 1 being your introduction, paragraph 2 a body paragraph, paragraph 3 a body paragraph, paragraph 4 a body paragraph, and paragraph 5 being a conclusion paragraph. All right, so that's from that slide that you probably recognized earlier. So this is just a very brief overview outline where you see in every body paragraph you're supposed to have your topic sentence, which is your supporting argument, your evidence, and then a summary and transition to your next point. So this is what we've been covering for the past 6 weeks in the course, every week with your paragraph exercise. You should feel very confident with writing paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. And next week we'll cover how to write paragraph 1, which is an introduction, and paragraph 5, which is a conclusion. Now, an example of the outline that I want you to do is actually located on the next page, page 24, and it'll be page 24 through 26. All right, so I'll show you a document in a minute where it's all typed out for you, but you're gonna see where you're supposed to show how you're gonna grab the reader's attention, provide background information, and give your thesis for the first paragraph. So this isn't your final version of the paragraph, but just think about, how am I going to grab my reader's attention? And if you need some inspiration, if you go to chapter 6 in our textbook, you are given some sample introduction paragraphs that you can look at here, like use a story, frame the issue, call an attention. These might give you some ideas, apart from saying in Duckworth's book, she talks about grit. Okay, so the next is provide some background information. This is where you do have to say something like, Duckworth in her book Grit, The Power and Passion of Perseverance, you need to explain what her definition of grit is and why you're kind of writing this essay. Then for your plan of development and thesis, you are going to copy one of the thesis sentences that you chose, either option 1 or option 2. Now for paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, you have the same outline to do. You're going to give your topic sentence, the evidence that you're going to use to support your claim, and then kind of summary. And you should aim for at least 2 pieces of evidence in each paragraph. Now, one thing I want to make clear is what you're saying in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are going to match the points in your thesis statement. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this first point here is what you're going to address in paragraph 2. You're saying, this is my first reason to believe why failure doesn't stop gritty people. Then you're going to say, my second reason for believing why failure doesn't stop gritty people is because of this, and this will be your third paragraph. Then you would say, my third and last reason for believing why failure doesn't stop gritty people is because of blank. This is what I say in my fourth paragraph. Okay? And you would do just the same thing for the second option, why the growth mindset. 1, why the growth mindset is necessary for grit. You could say 2, why the growth mindset is necessary for grit. Goes to your third paragraph. And 3, why the growth mindset is necessary for grit, goes in your fourth paragraph. Now for the last paragraph, this is your conclusion. Again, just kind of summarize what you think. You may not know the final version just yet, but answer these questions as best that you can. And what I'm going to do now is show you where you can find the outline document I want you to use on EmuLearn. On EmuLearn, scroll all the way down to week 7. And what you'll look for is the essay outline, which is right after the videos. It's a little paper clip icon next to it. Don't go all the way to the bottom. This is where you'll submit the assignment. But right up here under the videos is where you find the document that I want you to use to complete your outline. So if you see here, it looks very much like the outline I just showed you from the textbook, where in the introduction paragraph it shows grab your reader's attention, then introduce Duckworth and her book, and then put in your plan of development. This is where you'll type in your thesis from the syllabus. And then here's where you go through your paragraph. Now here I just have one piece of evidence. That is okay. If you can get two, even better, especially if they're shorter pieces of evidence, like little quotes. But you should have at least one supporting point for each paragraph. And then for your conclusion, I give you some tips here, as well as a checklist to make sure did you use at least Duckworth's book in one of the paragraphs and one of the assigned videos in one of the paragraphs. All right, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me.